Good afternoon. Welcome back to McAllister Oval here in Melbourne for the Division 1, or the Men's Division 1 clash here in the AFL International Cup. It is the USA versus Canada in this big clash. Two traditional rivals, certainly not in the AFL, but in just about every other sport over in the North America. Hello, my name is Shane Fleming, and I'm going to be with you for this big game. And joining me this afternoon is Brian Mansbridge in the co-commentary position. Brian, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Shane. Yes, pleasure to be here. My first one for the day, third game up. You've had a couple of experience, so I'm looking forward to the USA taking on Canada.
Certainly is a bit of an experience at the moment with the weather, of course. As you can see, it's a bit of inclement weather at the moment, although the rain has dropped off a little bit. But joining us this afternoon and all the way from Philadelphia is Mr. Brian Barish. Brian, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Shane. Good afternoon, everyone. Whenever the USA and Canada get together, it's like peanut butter and jalapenos. This is a rivalry matchup. The USA have won 14 out of the 15, going all the way back to 1999. Both teams will be familiar with the wet, and it's always a cracking contest.
Brian, tell us a little bit about the, not so much the rivalry within the AFL, which is obviously still in its infancy between America and Canada, but there's obviously a bit of a friendly feeling between the two countries.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities in the culture and in the sporting culture as well. For mine, I barrack for any Canadian team that doesn't have Sidney Crosby from the NHL in it, because think of like how Hayden Ballantyne is hated here in the AFL. That's how he is in the NHL. So, but yeah, it's much more cordial than, I guess, your normal AFL rivalry.
Just about to watch the toss of the coin here with the two captains in Kyle Johnson and Jim Audle for Canada, as the toss of the coin has been won by the Canadian side. They're going to kick to the Park Street end of the ground here at the McAllister Oval.
That seems to be the winning end too, Shane, in the last two games. Well, the other end has been the end where they've kicked all the goals, hasn't it? So
well, it has, yeah.
The breeze has dropped.
Yeah, the breeze was certainly favouring the city end of the ground in the first two games, and we just mentioned those two games. Great Britain defeating South Africa in the first game, and in the game just played just before, Ireland 6-6-42, getting the points over the reigning champions in Papua New Guinea 4-7-31. Well, Brian Barish, well, probably a tip from you first, and also a little bit about what you think might happen in this game.
Well, both teams are fitter. I think these are the two fittest sides that they've ever fielded. The Canadians, we saw them last 2 years ago on a very hot and steamy night in Fort Lauderdale, and they had a little trouble with the kicking that night. They kicked 3-11 and fell by 17 points, but the U.S. has a lot of athletes. They have a lot of height. Jason Pony Wilhelm from the Arizona Hawks lining up into the middle, and he is a very, very difficult ruck. So it'll be good to see how he goes. It'll be good to see how Max DePina here, number one in the near screen, playing in his first International Cup, goes as well.
So we're just about all set here for this round one International Cup game, Men's Division 1 here between the USA and Canada. The players all in positions. The umpires are ready as well. We're just about to get underway and to take the call, Brian Mansbridge.
Shane, as the two ruckmen set themselves, White and Wilhelm will get ready to start this game here this afternoon in game number 3. And as we heard Brian Barish say, that this is a bit of a rivalry, as the umpires are still waiting as everyone gets set. And he has control. He's looking around. I don't know what he's waiting for. He has eventually, here it is, the game. He holds the ball aloft, and he comes in to throw the ball up, and the two, well, they get up to go well. America, Wilhelm gets it down nicely to a little man there in Levex. He kicks it forward, bouncing ball, slipping over. It's going to be slippery. Running onto it is Mcgettigan. He kicks it towards goal, but it's gone over the line, out of bounds in the full. And there'll be free kick to the Canada side in the last line of defence.
So the ball now to be brought back into play. Not a lot of options, so they go long down the line, and that's not a good kick. The target there was meant for Alex Hurd, but it's gone out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a free kick to the US of A. So long ball into the goal square, going deep, up high, unable to take the mark there was Tybee. Can't take it, ball on the deck, picked up by Mcgettigan. Umpire says throw the ball in, and we'll have a boundary throw in early stages in this first game.
Yeah, it's good to see Ryan Mcgettigan, who is a very athletic half forward, get involved in that forward line, as Saleh Taibji as well, who usually plays on the defensive line. Good to see him up in the forward line getting some touches.
Yeah, there's the ball's knocked back towards the boundary line. A little tap over the top, but Canada got the defence. They just try and push it out. It's going to be hard to stay on tackled without the ball. Free kick will go to the Canadians. And the Maple Leafs will relieve it from the halfback, about 30 metres out from his defensive goal. Stand, waiting. They push it out towards the far side. That was Bassington, and he kicks up and hits up a target in the other back pocket. They have switched it. They come straight down the middle of the ground, back to the corridor. Big fly. Ball hits the front and square. No one there. Picked up. The Americans have got it. They've got a quick hands out. A bang around the corner. Good length on the kick, but not quite there from Levesque. He was very, very good, Brian, there. His distance was very good on the snap.
He's very good, and he's another very athletic. He plays up in Broad Beach as well for the Baltimore Washington Eagles. He's a veteran of 3 international cups, and it's good to see him get involved as well.
So ball brought back into play. DePina with a good mark from behind there for America. So Max DePina, we heard Brian talk about him in the pre-game. Interested to see what he can do off the wing. But he's got the ball now inside 50. So within scoring range and kicking to the scoring end of the ground here at McAllister Oval. But that's offline and through for another behind. America moved to just the 2 straight behinds. Canada yet to score, and we've been playing now 2.5 minutes in this first term.
Canada bring it in quickly. They go out wide. Good kick, good mark. And they've got it to half back. The Canadians just settled now. They haven't got the play on. They've just been bottled up. The Americans are holding them up as the ball's kicked high, up and under. Big pack forms, front and square. Again, Levesque there. Here's front and square. Gives it off to a teammate. They kick it back inside. Good work. Got over the back. Again, a snap around the corner. Well done. Running in towards goal. Bouncing ball. Has it gone through? It might have hit the post on the way through and through for another minor score. And they go to 3 behinds. Now, the US, they lead Canada early in this first quarter. But that's out in the full, and it's going to come back, Shane.
It is. No, poor disposal again from the Canadians. That was McDonald with the kick in. Quickly brought back into play, but over the head. And the mark taken in defence by the North Wind. So, taken now. Good kick out, finds Duggan. So, James Duggan moves the ball on quickly now to Mickey Burke, who takes the mark at half-back. Burke for Canada. Goes down the line. Can't take the mark there was Spawn. Off hands, ball on the ground. Oh, met in hard. Crashing in there was Gartright. And eventually the ball goes over the boundary line and over for a throw-in.
No, love lost out there, Brian. Both sides hard at it early in this first quarter.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Ball about to be thrown in right in front of the commentary area. Thank you very much, Shane. Ball went down. Good work, good tap. Couldn't get a hand there was Duggan. Ball still in dispute. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go to the US. And the US, and that will be DePina will take the free kick on centre wing. Looks behind. He asks and pleads, take it from me, Johnson. He does, Kyle. Not the best looking kick. A scrubber looking one of going forward. Thrown out of the pack there by Big Spell. Couldn't for Canada. Now in dispute. Running it over the top there was Bridges. He couldn't get a handle on it. Ball in dispute. Umpire circling. Crosses the arm. Shane, he says, give it to me.
Yes, I think we're going to see a bit of that this afternoon, Brian.
Yeah, very good work rate there by the midfielders, especially Max DePina, to keep the ball pinned in. Canada sort of marooned on their own half of the field so far.
So ball thrown up, still on the ground. Unable to take clean possession. Good spoil there by DePina. Play on, said the umpire. Shoveled out now. Little tap in front of himself there was Jones. He's going to get it back now. He does. Little handball forward to DePina, who's been busy early. Got the handball forward. The wet foot, he's hard to control at the moment. On the deck is Livy. He can't quite keep it in. Now picking it up there for Canada, and a quick kick forward towards a teammate in Ordle.
Ordle takes it, gives it off to a teammate. They bang it to centre wing. Standing front and square good there was Tassani. And he takes the mark on centre wing for the Canadians. Chips it over the top, up and under. But good enough. Gets it there to Burke. And Burke takes the mark. Just attacking side of the wing. Goes, poor kick. Touched off the boot. Ball now in dispute. Picking it up and running hard into the pack there is Yang Wo. He did very well. Or Benny Carpenter, he's better known as. Takes it up. They work it over towards the packet there, and it's going to be a free kick and this time it will be that man in Benny Carpenter who will take it from half back.
Carpenter plays for Montrose, actually, and also played up in Vietnam, but also a 3-time champion with the Austin Crows. He'll probably want that kick back, though.
So Carpenter's kick now turned over, although they've still got the chance here of the Americans going in hard. There was Spawn, as was Tersigny, and we're going to have a kick out on the full, and it'll be the Americans to take it through John Freeman. Gives the handball off, back to Spawn. Tries to run around, did well. Now has to kick under pressure. No one back there for America. Oh, dropping the mark, however, for Canada. And comes down to Pina. He got the handball away, did he?
Nope.
No, said the umpire, and it's holding the ball.
Free kick again to the Canadians on half back. They sum it up. They come out wide. It's 2-on-1, but over the back, a big punch, and it's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in on centre wing. Well, it's been an interesting start, Brian. Not many scores, and you'd say the US have got that breeze, if there's any.
Yeah, there's not much to speak of. Everything sort of died down. It's like the heavens opened up and said, oh, the U.S. is playing. I should probably get the rain out of here.
You can do it every time, the U.S.
Yeah,
Ball through the middle, bursting through there was Johnson. Banged it on the boot, put it forward. Couldn't take the mark. The U.S. it's front and square now. Canadians have got the numbers there. They're working hard at ground level. There's going to be a free kick. It will go to the Canadians off half back, and it'll be taken by the man in Brancati.
So Brancati goes wide, finds a teammate in Eric Klein, who now goes down the line looking for another teammate. But again, poor disposal plaguing the Canadians at the moment. And they just keep finding ways to turn the ball over. So out there on the far side, big crowd in attendance here too at McAllister Oval. Great to see that the rain hasn't dampened the spirits of the crowd.
They had their ponchos out. They've got their umbrellas out. They had everything out earlier.
Well, they are getting a Melbourne day because the sun's about to peek its way through the clouds as well as it comes out now to Ben Carpenter. Tries to go around a couple of opponents. Can't do so. Umpire's found a free kick. It's holding on. I think he might have be going back to Carpenter after he got rid of the ball. He was brought to ground.
That's
was.
Clyde Simpson with the football.
Clyde Simpson. Yep, has it. Goes inside forward 50. Oh, standing by himself and unattended. And a very, very nice mark. And that is Benny Carpenter, who's just popped inside the forward 50 and stood by himself, and they were able to hit him up, Brian.
Carpenter's like a little Swiss Army knife. He can do just a little bit of everything. And if you ask him real nicely, he'll open your bottle of wine for you.
Very nicely put. He was on half back before. Now he slipped into the forward half. And Carpenter comes in looking for the opening goal of this first quarter. Not right. It's just faded across the front of the goals and through for another minor score. That is 4 points. The US, Canada yet to score. We've played about 12 minutes with 8 minutes to go.
So ball brought back into play. Long kick now. Mark taken there by Eric Klein. Plays on. So looking to move the ball quickly. Can't take the mark. There's Christian Harbour. Umpire blows the whistle, calls play on. So the Americans now take possession. Looking to run onto the loose ball there is Ryan Gartright. Now they get it across to Carpenter. He can't take it. Eventually the tackle's laid. Canada happy to see it out at half back. And we will have a boundary throw-in.
Plenty of height, Brian, in the US side. They seem to be a lot taller, probably a little bit stronger than the Canadians.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things Tom Ellis wanted to bring in. He didn't want to just bring in athleticism, but also guys that are tall and are good in the aerial balls and also around the spot rucks around the outer.
Free kick is going to go to the Canadians on half back. They look and they go through the corridor. They set through a man who's standing by there and a very good mark. He jumps up and takes it. That was Lund for the Canadians. Turns, little kick forward, and they got the numbers here, the Canadians. They need to play on quickly. They do. They run and carry. They push it out wide and dropping a mark that he probably should have. A little toe poke forward. Now the US have got the numbers. Getting tackled and brought to ground there was Kyle Johnson, and maybe got a little high, and he'll take the free kick on defensive side of half back.
So the captain for the American team, Kyle Johnson, goes wide, looking to switch the play. It's a dangerous kick. Spawn couldn't take the mark. Right there with him was Tersigny. Now Canada with their first chance. Inside 50. Oh, smothered. Good smother on them by the American player there. Going in hard. There was Gartright again. Ball on the deck. Back with America. Comes to Spawn. Now out wide.
Down the wing. Good mark, though. Jumping back and taking their big markers. Morgan White takes the mark on centre wing, plays on, they go long, deep to half forward, bouncing ball. Who's going to be first there? Oh, Harbour tried to kick it off the ground for the Canadians, couldn't get it forward, still into amongst the pack. The umpire circling, crosses the arms and says, Brian, give it to me and I'll ball it up.
We've seen a lot of these games in the U.S., almost like honeypot football, where everyone's sort of around the ball, very tight in. Those long kicks and those long clearances are going to come in handy a little bit later on.
Yeah, well, that was off the ball, Shane, and that might have been a 50-metre penalty, I think, to Orbital. And he might go all the way down towards the goals. Wasn't a very big...
No, I've seen this in an early game too. The penalty was about 25 metres.
Is it a 25-metre
well,
penalty?
I'm starting to think it might be.
I got the thumbs up from the back, so it's not a 50-metre penalty. It is a 25, so that's why I only went 25, Shane. Anyway, Obdal comes in, goes for the shot at goal. Oh, well, he was up without acceptances, but the umpire said it's all clear, and Jimmy Obdal takes gets the goal, and the first one of the game this afternoon. They go through to a 1-goal straight 6. They lead the US 4 points, and we have 5.5 to go.
It figures that the U.S. has had the run of play in the first part of this quarter, and then the Canada comes forward. It's a mistake, and that leads to the opening goal for the Canadians.
I'm a little bit worried about the big jump in the goal square. He never touched the ball, but kept his opponent well and truly out of it.
Possibly should have been a free kick there, you would have thought, but we've got an umpire's whistle again. It's going to go to Canada, so it might have been an extra man inside the square, I think, and it'll be taken now by Morgan White. Gives the handball off. Long kick inside 50, but it's all America back there, and the comfortable mark taken by Kyle Johnson. So the skipper for the American side comes wide, manages to stay in. No, it doesn't, said the umpire. It's out of bounds on the full, and it will be a free kick to Canada taken by CJ Brassington.
Brassington goes towards the middle of the ground. They've got the numbers, though, the Canadians. They handball it over the top, put his teammate under plenty of pressure there, Duggan, and eventually it was kicked out of the pack towards the boundary line, over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in.
Great smother by Big Ben Judge from the Des Moines Roosters. And Des Moines is a mostly American outfit, and they've turned a number of players through, him and Hamilton May, who's on the bench. But good spoil and good desperation, and that's what they got to get back to, more disciplined play.
Well, it's the Clash jumper too, Shane. It's an interesting one. It's got the eagle on the front. Haven't got the stars and stripes as they normally have, as the ball is punched out of the ruck and towards the forward line. Running hard towards it is Grzik. He was able to pick it up, got it back inside, couldn't hit a target. Doing well there was Bassington for the Maple Leafs. He couldn't pick it up though, still forcing it out. Big long handball came from Brent Caddy.
So Brancati's fist now comes down, tackled there with the ball. Did he get rid of it, Levescu? He did, said the umpire, still on the deck. Hard ball to win at the moment. Now taken by Johnson. The captain gives it off. America running forward now through Ben Carpenter. Good, poor kick though, turned over. Oh, it's not I think they might have been smothered in fact, although the umpire says it's a mark to David Grziak. So Grziak now with the little handball off to Spawn, and they go forward deep, looking for a mark at the back.
Mark.
Oh, good mark. Did he pay it? No, said the umpire. Play on.
Yes.
No, he has. Had to be paid, and a very good mark to Ty B there for American. He will go back and have a shot from 30 metres out on a slight angle.
Good hands.
Best hands in the competition in the USAFL. You can almost trust your baby with those hands.
No, he's not going to drop the baby this time.
Nope.
So Ty B now looking for the American side's first goal of the afternoon. They trail at the moment. But Ty B, wearing the number 13, comes in. Kick is across the face of goal. He's not going to score with that effort. Fisted away there by Brian Dragus. And it's out of bounds and over for a boundary throwing.
Might have the best hands in the business, but not the boot at the moment there, Brian.
He's usually out of the back line there, but it's good to see Tom Ellis using him more. I think they're trying to get, because he usually cheats forward anyway, and I think they're trying to get more through the middle through him.
Coming out there, and, good work by the US. They've worked it back. Spawn, he grabs hold of it, bangs it to the top of the square. bouncing ball, hits the ground. Good work again over the back of the pack. But the Maple Leafs have got enough. Toe poked it just at the wrong time and putting it over the line out of bounds to the full. It'll be a free kick and it'll go to the US. And little lucks of fortune, Brian.
He pulled out the pitching wedge and he should have used a putter.
Tried to keep it down, but just couldn't quite keep it there. And it'll be free kick and it will go to Michael Murphy. He from just outside 50 will try to chip it in or didn't quite get it there. And diving there was Mcgettigan, but couldn't grab hold of it. And it'll be a free kick to Canada from the right on the last line of defence in the back pocket.
So Brassington now goes short. Mark taken by James Duggan, half back. So Duggan, not a great kick, but it's marked by Levescu for the American side. Gives the handball off to Spawn, who's been very busy early. Crosses the 50. Long shot at goal by Spawn. Is offline. Through for another behind. So America, they go to 5 straight behinds. 5. Canada, 1 straight goal, 6.
They bring it quickly back in it, though, the Canadians, and get it out there towards Brancati, towards the line, but over the line out of bounds for a throw-in.
It's good to see Buddy Spahn pepper the goals from that deep. I think the U.S. is going to need to put pressure from deep. Just pressure the goals and then try and hem them in on the defensive side.
Big punch by White, put it back over the boundary on the full. It may be a free kick because it hasn't been touched. And out of the ruck, throw-in on a boundary line is a free kick if it goes back over the line on the full, and which it has done. And Levescu will take the free kick. He marks the line, goes back. He's a long way from goal. I don't think he's going to kick it from there, Brian.
Well, at the very least, put the ball into the popcorn machine and see what you get.
Chips it, got smothered off the mark. Ball went inside forward 50. Bassington was very good there for the Canadians. Still, though, that comes out the back. Can they get it? Get rid of it. Gone, pinged. And he will be a free kick to the US.
Griziak.
And the big man there, Griziak, has pulled him down. It was a really strong tackle. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal after the siren has gone in this first quarter, Shane.
Big kick here, certainly for Griziak. And the American side, this will be for the lead too, Brian.
Well, it will be, and it'll just give them that little buffer because they've probably kicked to the scoring end, which has been right through the first 2 games. And the big man comes in. He's laid a good tackle, needs to go back and slot this one through. Gets close, left footer. Never in doubt, straight through the middle, and the US take the lead at quarter time. 1 goal, 5-11. They lead Canada 1 straight 6, and that is a very, very nice goal, Brian.
Very good, and Dave Griziak is stronger than a garlic milkshake, and boy, did he put on a tackle, the man from Dallas, and that gives him a deserved goal to end the quarter.
Well, just trying to compose myself after that one there from Brian. But at quarter time, it is 1-5-11, the American Revolution. They lead Canada 1 straight 6. We might take a break here, and when we come back, we will be back with all the second quarter action. 5-point margin at quarter time. America 1-5-11 leading Canada 1 straight 6. The goal kickers in that quarter for the American side, David Greziak with 1, and Justin Jim Ordle, the captain for Canada. He is their only goal scorer. But Brian Barish, a very interesting first quarter. America probably dominating the play, but really not making the Canadian side pay on the scoreboard.
No, and that's going to come into play later, especially with Canada kicking with what little breeze they've got here in the second quarter. And really the only goal, as we said, came off an American mistake when the free kick was given away, and Ortel does what 10-year veteran of the game, and he's only 26, which means he's still got a lot of good footy in him. But that's pretty much the only thing that's keeping the Canadians in the game at this point.
Some of the better players in that quarter, certainly for mine, Max DePina, Brian, he was fantastic in that first term.
Yeah, he certainly was. And Jay Levesque at the cross half back, and the captain was Kyle Johnson was cross half back. It was really good. I thought he was nearly best man on the ground.
Well, the weather's certainly cleared here in Melbourne for round 1 of the International Cup in the AFL, and we're about to get underway here in this second quarter. And Brian Mansbridge, take us away.
Well, 4 seasons in one day. If you come from anywhere else and heard it, here it is. We've had sunshine, rain, wind, and now absolutely magnificent conditions here this afternoon. As the umpire holds it aloft, White, the big man, will go up for Canada and look to get it down and get them underway. Gets the ball to ground level, coming in hard. It was Duggan, banged it on the boot, got it to half forward. Good work, brought it to ground level. Though the Americans seemed to have enough there, but pushing it through there was Loosemore. He couldn't get it, came back to a teammate there in Lund, and he takes the kick just inside the centre square.
So Lund now goes inside 50. Oh, coming out and taking a good mark for the Canadian side. There is Kyle Graham, and he will go back and have a shot at goal from 30 metres out to look to put Canada back in front.
That's good separation by Graham to get away from his defender. That's probably the first real defensive lapse by the U.S. inside their own 50.
So Graham now, he's going to be kicking from about 45 out on a slight angle, but he is kicking to the scoring end so far this afternoon here at McAllister Oval. Graham gets a good strike at it. Has he got the journey? He hasn't quite. And it is a little bit offline as well, but it's through for the first blemish of the afternoon for Canada. They go to 1-1-7, America 1-5-11.
37-year-old Kyle Graham, and still running around out there looking as fit as a 20-year-old. So he's done very, very well as the US from fullback. They come out to the scoreboard side looking for Carpenter, but Big Spawn takes a good strong mark in front of the pack, looks to play on, does it himself now, gets on the left boot, doesn't kick it that well, but very, very nice, as if he's seen DePina out of the corner of his eye. He was able to get it around the corner, and he was good enough to take the mark down the line. Good there from Mcgettigan, who took a strong mark right in front of the commentary position, Shane.
Certainly did. Mcgettigan now kicks into the man on the mark there in McDonald. So the Canadians going around the corner. There was Ordle, the captain, trying to find a teammate in Nash. Still they go in hard. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to go to the American side. And I think
Hamilton
it might
May,
be...
I think.
Yes, it is. Yep. So Hamilton May with the ball at half back. Goes down the line. Looking for DePina. Good strong hands from him. He was very good in that first quarter.
Starting to really set up, Brian, I think he is, DePina.
Yeah, starting to insert himself in the game on this wing.
Yep, long kick going down, and another good strong mark there from Ty B. And he's just licking forward, has to go around Shane. He goes close to the line. And
taking the mark is Greziak, so I'll call it from there, Brian.
Yeah.
I know you can't see.
I can't see.
So Greziak kicks around on the left boot. It's a good long kick to the square. Big fly, pack forms. Off hands at the front. No one able to take possession. Going in hard there was Freeman. Ball still on the ground. Players diving in everywhere. Eventually the umpire's going to have to come in and ball it up. You would think he does now. And we'll get a ball up about 25 metres out from goal with America into attack.
John Freeman of the Nashville Kangaroos. This is only his second full year of footy. He really impressed in his rookie season for that club last year. Great to see him out here in Melbourne.
Big punch from the pack. The Canadians, they worked it back, but cut off by Spawn. He went out wide, Shane.
He did. It comes down to, that was Restrepo. Goes forward and a good mark in the pocket there for the American side. And that is taken, I'm not quite sure who that might be there. In fact, it is Mcgettigan goes round, shot at goal is offline. In fact, it's fallen short. Mark taken by Jones.
Jones, yep.
And he comes back. A nice centering ball from Jones. Has a teammate about 40 metres out directly in front. And I think that is Daniel Livy.
Dangerous Daniel Levy from the Golden Gate Roos, and this is well within his range. Great job by Jones, who is 37 years old in his own right, to find the mark.
So Levy now comes in looking for the American second goal of the afternoon. It's offline. Another behind. They've been very wasteful. 1 goal, 6-12 America. And the Canadian side, 1-1-7.
The U.S. are in need of a compass or some other sort of GPS tracking device.
Turnover. Oh, well done by Mcgettigan. Nearly got it out to a teammate. Ortel did well. Got it to a teammate. Now they bang it on the boot. They get it out, but good strong mark there by the U.S. And is it big Spawn again? No, it might be. Yeah, well, I think it is. He's coming. He kicks it long, goes to the top of the square. Dangerous spot. Enough numbers there for the Canadians, though. And a big tackle on Benny Carpenter. He's brought to ground, and I think it's going to be a free kick. And no, his umpire decides, he says, give it to me, and I'll ball it up. Only metres out from the goal square. US deep into attack. Ball knocked to ground. Now it comes out. Who's going to be first there? It will be the Canadians through Brancati. And he gets it towards the boundary line. Can't get a hand on it, though. They work it back. Fumble. Good work by the man in Depina. He was able to handball it up in the air. It's still under. No one can get it out. A little one underground came out from Lund.
So Lund now forcing it forward, but it's going to be turned over here, the American side, through Simpson. Going back. They've gone all the way back to the centre. Eventually going forward, long ball, high mark, no, unable to be taken. Off the ground there was Mcgettigan with a little soccer, but it's out of bounds. It'll be over the boundary line for a throw-in. The Americans appealing for out on the full, but the boundary umpire having none of that. So no, give it to me and I'll throw it back in.
Well, deep in that pocket again. Thrown back in. They're into attack, but they just can't put the score on the board. The Canadians doing a good job. When the ball went up in the air and it came down to Duggan, he got it around. They got it towards halfback for them. Still no one. They're playing it off the ground. A bit of toe poking and soccer play going out. Eventually it came out, and running on it there was Lyman. He couldn't get it back to the big man in Spawn. Picked up there and banged it on the boot was Hund. He couldn't get it out of the pack. It's going to be turned over. It's going to be a free kick. Advantage paid. Yes, he's going to take it, Shane.
He does. Eventually called to play on big fly there from Dragus, and he's given away a free kick. In fact, he might have hurt himself on the way down. So the Canadian side come out wide to Duggan, who's been busy in this second quarter. He's had plenty of the ball, James Duggan. Goes long down the line on the wing. Good strong mark taken there for the Canadian side by, that was Nash. Goes round the corner. Not a great kick coming across to meet the ball for America. They take possession, but they've turned it over. Eventually trying to keep it in. There was Hobbs. Kick around the corner, bouncing in the pocket. And eventually taken over the line in a heavy tackle was the captain in Kyle Johnson. And the umpire says we'll throw the ball back into play.
Well, just maybe 45, 50 metres around from their goal. They'll be thrown in. High, up, well done. Got in under there and good punch away there by Wilhelm. Ball still in dispute. No one, the free kick is going to go, and it's going to go to Canada. And the free kick will go to James Duggan. And he's been very good, Duggan. He's done very, very well. He's had plenty of it. He's 50, maybe 50, 48 from goal. Gets plenty of it. Going and fading just a little short and through for another minus score to Canada. They go to 1-2-8. They trail the US a 1-6-12, 9.5 to go.
Yeah, and the kicking letting both teams down, not just kicks for goal, but on these outlets on the near side here.
So the ball brought back into play now by Kramer. Goes into the pocket. Called to play on now. Going down the line, not a great kick. And coming in to take the mark there for Canada. Oh, I can't quite see who that is. It might be Brassington, maybe, as he goes long to the goal square. It's a big kick at the back of the pack. Reading it well as well, and it's all Canada. And taking Nash, a good, strong mark is Adam Nash. So Adam Nash. He's got a good opportunity here to put the Canadian side back in front. And they are certainly meeting every answer so far that the Americans are throwing at them.
Yeah, they certainly are. And Nash has had a couple of touches just in those long kicks to the top of the square have been the ones that have got him into a bit of danger. He's got the Stevie Johnson going.
He has. They've obviously get the AFL over there in Canada as Nash runs around the corner. And I tell you what, he's put it through as well. Great finish from Adam Nash. And Canada, they take the lead. They go to 2-2-14. They lead America 1-6-12 here. And we've been playing 9 minutes in this second quarter.
It's a little Stevie Johnson, a little Magic Johnson. That was pretty good. And once again, a great separation to get away from the fullback there and Jeff Kramer. But once again, the U.S. controlling play. Canada just able to pick their spots. And look, they've been able to make better use of their chances than the Americans have when they've gotten inside 50.
Well, as you said, Brian, the US have been inside a fair few times and just didn't capitalise on their scoring, and now they trail as the umpire says it's going to be a free kick and it's going to go to Canada, and it'll be the big man there in white will take the free kick for an infringement too many in the square. Ball kicked out, but it's been cut off across half back there by May, who's take the mark, went down. Oh, good work by Deppiter, and he's taken the strong mark on centre wing.
Good mark by DePina again, inserting himself.
Yep, DePina goes down the line, finds Spawn. He's been, he's been very good all day. He's taken some good strong marks, and he will put them inside forward 50 again.
So Spawn goes long. Underneath the ball, pack forms. Umpires found a free kick. It's going the way of Canada. Push out in the contest. And it will be taken there by Mike Aspel. So Aspel now comes wide. Got the loose player in Martin. He decides to play on. Runs down the line. Short pass. Finds a target there in, I think that was McDonald. Got the handball off. Long ball. Canada players at the back. They've just got to get the loose ball. Getting back first there was Johnson. Little tap to himself, but they've still got possession here of Canada. They got the loose player at the back. Didn't see him there, did Graham. High ball to the goal square. Still with the Canadians. Oh, just like overcooking it there was Hobbs. Couldn't pick it up. Going in hard as well was Lund. And the pack form's about 25 metres out, and we're going to get a ball up with Canada into attack.
That was good work, Brian, by the captain, Kyle Johnson there.
Yeah, Manly, we talk about work rate, and he's very good he's got the energy efficiency of a hybrid car back there.
Spawn got it out to a teammate. They run it through half-back now. Running there was Respesto. He got it towards the centre wing. Again, gets it back. Goes long. Can he hit a target? I think he can, and they take it on half forward. The US start to build. They come back through the corridor. Good kick and a good spot up there from Gartright. Gartright goes deep inside, or going back. That was good work by the big man there in Gerziak, but was penalised for front-on contact, and it'll be a free kick to the Canadians in their back half.
So the Canadian side now through Jacob Martin. Oh, dangerous kick, but comes off. McDonald's good enough to take the mark. So Robin McDonald comes wide.
Oh, he's
Did he
tried to
keep
take
it
it
in?
inside.
He has. That's Hobbs. So Hobbs now for Canada. Goes down the line. Not a lot to kick to. Shuffled out of the play. There was White over the back trying to keep it in was Simpson. Now taking possession was Franco, but he lost it. Still go the Canadian side. They've worked the ball forward here. Spawn was there. Got a little punch to the ball. He wants the boundary line. He's going to get it, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Well, he was lucky there, Brian, because Kyle Graham was out and running there. But Spawn, he's really attacked it hard. He's been a very good player for the US.
He's probably one of the better players out there. He plays actually here in Melbourne for BlackRock by way of the Orange County Bombers. And I think he could, if he comes back here, he could get settled in, maybe get a call up to the VFL at some point.
Ball kicked out along the ground, got it to half back there, and trying to pick it up was Michael Murphy. And ball over the top there to Mcgettigan. He gave it off to the running handball. Carpenter gave it over the top again. Now the US build. Can they get it inside? They've been tackled, pulled off it. There was Lynham. He couldn't take it. Now the Canadians, they work it out towards the boundary line and eventually force it over and get a ball in on half forward.
But that's a great passage of play there, and a great job by Clyde Simpson to stay with the footy even when the mustard came off the hot dog.
Really linking up well there by hands, the American side. You wouldn't have seen that in the first couple of games with the conditions drying somewhat now. Tap down to DePina. Got the little handball off to Judge, who was running past. They've lost the ball now, though. Taking in a heavy tackle was Lund. And the umpire says, give it to me. He crosses his arms and we'll have a ball up right on the edge of attacking 50 here for the American side.
That was slick hands by DePina again off the pack.
Yeah, he's got some weapons on the inside there.
So ball now in the hands there of Brancati. He lost it. Still with America. They come across. Good work there from Ben Carpenter. Got it out to Spawn. Goes backwards into traffic by hand. High ball now long to the goal square. Who can take the mark? No one can at the moment. Trying to rove it there was Linfeld. But Canada through Brassington will look to clear.
They do. They get it to half forward here and a nice spot up by the young man there into Tirasini. Tassani, he kicks it down the line. Well, that's floated like a dead pigeon. It didn't spin at all, but they've got it to ground level. The Canadians, a little toe poke out the back. The 1-2 running it over. Tapping it on there was Harbour. Couldn't get a handle on it. Again, it comes out. A little quick kick around the corner by Lang. He got it to half forward. Still in dispute. Bouncing ball. They're running hard and tackling hard. Going at it was Duggan again. Couldn't pick it up. He tries again. Bends over the top. Pulling it out of the back there was the young man in Michael Lyman. He got it over to a teammate and they're out, the US.
So America now looking to go forward through the captain in Johnson. Just got rid of it in time. Going to ground, didn't really have possession. And he got the high one as well there, did Ben Carpenter. He's been rewarded with the free kick. And he's asked to come around, and he's asking the umpire about whether Trent Loosemore should be there. Umpire says, don't you worry about it, you just kick the ball. Great mark taken there by Clyde Simpson in the middle of the ground. So Simpson now looking to switch the play for America.
He does. He gets it out wide, finds a teammate on half forward. They look to go inside forward 50, up and under. DePina there, got it off the pack though, good work. Nice hands come there from Lund, he got it out wide, got it to another teammate, they bang it on the boot, they put it down, but it's going to come back. It's been taken, it's taken off the US have taken the mark, but that's going to be a 25-metre penalty. It is not 50, but it is, but there's a blood rule as well. And going off there, I think is Ben Judge.
Ben Judge, yep.
And the free kick will be taken by, I'm not quite sure who that is. Levesque, is it? No, it was taken there by Franco.
Hey, Franco.
He chipped it down the corner. Now they're off, going inside forward 50 again, the US. Well, a bad kick, bouncing ball. Mcgettigan ran onto it front and square, then got tackled. Ball came out. Tackled and brought to ground. That was a really strong tackle by the Canadians, and they will get the free kick in the back half, and I think it might be Clay Lund.
So it comes out wide now. Mark taken out on the defensive side of the ground. Canada going forward. Mark again to Sydney. He's been pretty good in this second quarter as well as to Sydney. Had a little bit of the ball. Now goes down the line. Reading it best there was Christian Harbour. Player slipping over at the crucial moment as well there for America, but Harbour takes the mark. So on the far wing, Canada in front, leading by 2 points. Looking for a teammate there in the middle in white. Can't take the mark. Pack forms, players flying in everywhere. It's a hard contested footy to win at the moment. Going in there was Nick Liang. Couldn't take possession.
Johnson got his head ripped off.
Going and little handball out the top. DePina here will look to set something up for the American side, and they've got players loose out the back.
The little one chipped around the corner. Tried to give the don't argue, but should have got it over there. Respresto should have had it over the top to a teammate. And there's the siren here going for half time, where we see the score Canada 2-2-14. lead the USA 1-6-12.
Well, Brian, your thoughts there from that first half? A really competitive half that sees Canada leading by 2 points.
Two things that are hurting the U.S. right now. Obviously, the kicks for goal. They're one from 7 on the scoreboard, and also they're getting beat in transition. They got to man up when Canada gets the footy in the back line. They're just running through and finding their spots before the Americans can get back. Tom Ellis is going to probably chew them out at halftime about that.
Well, a competitive quarter there for the Canadian side sees them leading by 2 points at halftime, 2-2-14 to the American Revolution 1-6-12. Well, if the second half is anything like the first, we are in for a great game of football here. It is round 1 in the International Cup at McAllister Oval. 2-point margin here at half-time at McAllister Oval. Canada 2-2-14 leading the United States of America. 1 goal, 6 behinds, 12. The goal scorers here for the Canadian side, Adam Nash and the captain, Jim Audle, with singles, while the lone goal scorer is David Greziak for the American side. Here it's round 1 in the International Cup in Melbourne, Australia. And joining us all the way from Philadelphia is Brian Barish. And Brian, your thoughts there on the first half and what is going to transpire in the second, I suppose, as well?
Well, it's been a very good footy, and I think the standard's been very good. I mean, you look at the score of 14-12, but we're seeing some really good defense on both sides. Max DePina for the Americans has really put his head in and really has bailed them out on a couple of occasions. So has Saleh Taibji, and then Ortel for the Canadians. I had a peek into the American huddle. I think they echoed what I was saying. They got to do better on transition on both sides of the football. On defense, when Canada gets the ball inside 50, they got to man up, and they also have to make themselves more available when they're on their side of the 50, when they get the ball in the middle of the ground and make better leads.
They certainly do. America trailing by 2 points here, and it's the start of the third quarter. Brian's Mansbridge, take it away.
Willem up against White. Willem gets it for the USA. Oh, White just smacked it back, but off half back, the captain Johnson picked it up, then fumbled. Ball back towards the pack. Picking it up there was Lewsom. He gave it off to a teammate who banged it on the boot there in Ortel. He got it towards half forward and then taking the mark but not paid. Then the umpire says, no, give it to me, and I'll ball it up about 30 metres out from the Canadian goal.
How is that not paid?
Not sure.
No, good mark there, but play on. So ball thrown up, and the umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go to Canada, and the captain in Jim Audle. So he's within range. He'll be kicking from about 45 out directly in front and looking to extend the lead here for the North Wind.
Well, they wouldn't want that, Brian, early in the first part of this third quarter.
Last thing they want right now.
So Audle now, not a great kick, falls short, and the mark taken there in defence for the American side by the captain in Kyle Johnson.
Johnson kicks it out wide, but good mark by Big White from Canada. He got up tall and took it above his head. Now he's going to put him back inside forward 50. Good kick, nice position, but good work though over the back. He kicked it to his opposing ruckman in Big Willem, who takes the mark, gets it out towards DePina. Did he just little tap that over the top and take another grab?
He's got some skills.
He has got some skills. He's taken it on half back for the US. He looks out to half forward. No one went up. Johnson was there. He just waited. Now a little one out. Came out to Kyle Johnson. Bent down. Went to pick it up. Had to be a high tackle, and it was. And it'll be a free kick to the captain in Kyle Johnson.
So Johnson now at half back.
They need to start hitting some targets.
Yeah, and they're not giving him a lot to kick to, although there are a couple of loose players in the middle of the ground just running underneath the ball. There was Levescu. Now through our half forward, looking to pick it up. There was Restrepo. Can't do so. Pack forms. We're going to get another ball up. Umpire's circling. No, he's paid holding the ball. And it's going to be going to Canada. And the free kick now to be taken by Jacob Martin.
Respestu was over the top of the ball, and the umpire said he didn't make an attempt. Well, they've come out really, really wide. Bouncing ball. DePina there, just forcing his opponent over there in Duggan, and eventually over the line out of bounds for a throw-in.
I've been really impressed with DePina's work today, Brian.
Yeah, this is only his third full season of footy from the Seattle Grizzlies. Very athletic young man, and also, as you can see, he's got some ups too.
He has. He's got some little smarts. He knows how to handle that ball. Well done. Stepping out of the pack there was Respesto. He got it forward, but again, it's going to come back. Canada, bang it towards the wing. Got the numbers. The captain, Ortel, took a good strong mark on half-back.
So Ortel now called the play on, looking to switch the play, but hasn't got anyone to kick to at the moment. Has to come back towards the boundary. Going over the head, and Dragus with a great mark.
Sat at his head. He's going to be a 50-metre penalty. No, 25, I should say.
Just not quite used to calling that 25, are we, Brian?
No, not quite.
It's certainly it's 50 in the Australian game, but International Cup, and it's only a 25-metre penalty, but it puts him within range here, does Brian Dragus.
Got the leg, Brian?
Yeah, this is probably at the edge of his reality, but not only does he kick him long from here, he can kick him straight.
So Dragus now, he certainly kicked it straight, but has he got the legs? It's offline and through for another behind. So America go to 1 goal 7, very wasteful 13. They trail Canada 2-2-14.
Well, McDonald from fullback for Canada just sums up, goes out wide. Had a teammate, turned it over, just didn't get enough on it. And the US take a mark about 30 metres out on a very tight angle. And with the breeze, they should be able to get that. Is that Mcgettigan? Is it or not? I can't see him. I'm not quite sure. I can't see his number. But he's only millimetres inside, but it's going to be a free kick. It's going to go all the way to the line. There's a 25-metre penalty, and that's going to put the US directly in front. Now we'll see his number when he turns around. And, no, I was wrong.
It's Levy.
Levy comes in and goes bang and puts it through. And Levy gets his first of the afternoon, Daniel Levy. And the US get their second. They go to 2 goals, 7-19. They lead Canada 2-2-14. And a very nice, well, I didn't see what the penalty was for, Brian, but that's a goal.
No, but you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You don't look a gift car in the engine and all that stuff like that there. But good work rate again by Levy, and I think he earned that free kick in the forward line and got a little bit of a gift that he was able to get the 25 and be placed in front.
So America, now they've started this term quite well, the third quarter. 5 minutes gone, but they need to make use of this win now because Canada are going to have the advantage in the last quarter, and we're just waiting. I think he might have missing a ball, are
something
they?
you don't want to do, Shane, when it's no time on, is kick the ball 30 metres over the back and someone's got to go and get it.
This is like when I was a kid in my backyard in Philly. You hit the ball into the neighbor's yard. You got to climb over the fence.
No, you do that against the wind. You don't do it when you got the wind. You got to just chip it over the top.
Just a little chip, yes. Make use of the wind. But America now, they need another couple of goals here in this term to really make it interesting heading into the last. But in the middle, it is going to be Wilhelm with the tap at Canada coming forward. Little kick out onto the wing. Trying to run onto the loose ball there is Tersigny. He gives a little handle, has a player in support there in Duggan, which was good. He didn't quite get the kick past the stoppage there. Duggan still going. Good little tap forward there by Freeman. Still on hands and knees there. DePina was in there, and they can't quite keep it in. Boundary line wins out, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 70 metres out from goal with Canada into attack.
Well, Duggan just couldn't get a hand on it as it flipped over the line. I've got the task of running with DePina. Ball came in. White was over the back. Got the numbers. Duggan this time grabs hold of it. Can't get it out of there, son. Umpire crosses the arms and says, give it to me, Shane. And there'll be a ball up right in front of us.
Good tackle by Ryan Mcgettigan, my former teammate with the Philadelphia Hawks, nicknamed Ryan Mcgettathighs.
Big tap over the top. Good work, Spawn. Gave it out to his teammate there in Restro. He gave it out to a teammate in run, and they kick it long, trying to get it to the big man over the top there in Dragas. He ran onto it, picked it up, looked back towards centre half forward, but a good strong intercept there by the young man in Kennedy. He did well, but off the park! A big kick, and he's banged that through.
Wow.
And what a goal to the US. Who kicked that, Shane? I wasn't quite sure.
David Restrepo kicked it.
Restrepo kicks it from about 45 metres out. And, well, the US, they go to 3-7-25. They lead Canada 2-2-14.
That's a huge goal in the context of this game, and there is a reason that David Restrepo is playing for the Melbourne University Blacks out of the Houston Lone Stars. He has a great nose for goal, and you saw it there. Just put it on the boot, and the wind did the rest.
That's a massive kick, too.
Yeah.
He put it on the window, right? It went a long way.
Certainly is, and all of a sudden, America, they've opened up an 11-point lead. Important now, going with the win to make use of it. Ordell goes back for Canada. Can't take possession now. He does. Kick was smothered. In fact, he just kicked it straight into his opponent. DePina now, little tap forward, got it to Carpenter. Now with a kick forward by Mcgettigan, but he was dropped after he kicked it. And it's going to be a free kick downfield.
Big Dragas will take it, I think.
Yes, so Dragas now, he's going to have a shot at goal, and we know that he's got the journey, but it's all about the accuracy now for the big fella.
Brian Dragas, who's the third runner-up in the Joe Danaher lookalike contest.
So runs around.
He's
put it through!
The speedy jumps it from the boundary line.
Dragas! What a goal from Brian Dragas. He gets his first. America, they go to 4-7-31, and all of a sudden they've broken this game open, 2-2-14. and that would be a contender for the goal of the tournament.
Absolutely. He kicked that one from out near Geelong, I think.
Well, he had the Stevie J. He got the big run around and snapped it from a long way back. But all Bryans know how to do that.
Of course. The Dragon. You know, he's so good that he has a team, the LA Dragons, named after him. So,
Big Dragus. He was very, very good. As you said, Shane, he's got the distance. And then he went around the corner, used the breeze, and she floated through from a long way out. Ball back in the middle. And a big lead now to the US. Big bang off their spawn. Just a little hand poke out there. Just couldn't get anyone on the end of it. Now in dispute. Well done. The big man in white. Wilhelm got it forward. Punched it towards half forward. A little kick up. It's going to be another free kick to the US. And it will be taken by... Is it Wilhelm going to get it? The umpire's looking around. It's going to go to Canada. And it'll be Ortel.
might have been kicking in danger, I think.
Might have been.
So, ball brought back into the middle of the ground.
That's a strong mark.
It is Logan Anderson there for Canada with the mark. So, looking to take possession. In fact, it's Trent Loosemore. So, Loosemore now kicked it straight in the man on the mark. You would have thought he might have nearly gone over the mark there, Chai B, but they called play on. Still going America at the 50-metre line. And the umpire eventually calls for the ball as Robin McDonald just knocked it out. But we're going to have a ball up with America into attack. They are pressing hard here. They've kicked the last 3 goals of the game. And the tap down there by, that was White. But going still crossing the 50 for America. Mcgettigan couldn't get the boot to the ball. Now comes out to Levescu. Quick kick forward. Bouncing ball hits the post. Well, that would have been a really big goal there for America. They go to 4-8-32, leading Canada 2-2-14.
Yeah, well, Restrepo again. Restrepo again. Just the kick around the corner. What's going? Has he gone over the line?
I think he has.
Restrepo, it's come back in. It has going to be a ball up right on the line. And again, another deep contest right at the top of the square. And it'll be balled up as the Ruckman set themselves here. Deep into attack, the US. Well done, White. Oh, that was a bit of a falcon. Came off there. A nice little tap around the corner. And eventually over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in.
They need to make sure they hold up here, Canada. If they allow America to get too far in front, doesn't matter how strong this breeze is, they won't be able to get it back.
Free kick, Brian, is it? Is it going to?
Yes, it's going to Restrepo on the near side.
Restrepo again. He's didn't see what the free kick was for.
I think it was pushing the back. He was cleared out of the play right here near the behind post.
Well, he's gone the Stevie J around the corner, trying to get it back towards the goal. He has got it. Restrepo puts it straight through the middle. He gets his second, and the US are on fire. They're 5 goals, 38. They lead the Canadians 2-2-14, and they are really putting the straps on now.
The Americans need their potassium. They're pulling out the bananas here. And here's the thing. This is all in good, but they got to keep the momentum. But more importantly, heading into the fourth quarter, they got to keep that up, especially against the flow of play.
Certainly making use of the wind at the moment. 4 goals in this term. And Canada, they are yet to get on the board in this third quarter. So back in the middle, Loosemore in the ruck. Couldn't get the tap, but he gets it back now. Goes long. High ball underneath it. Those going to be Johnson, and he's going to take the mark for the American side. In fact, it's Jeff Kramer.
Kramer takes the mark across half back. The US have really started to lift their work rate over the back. Going to be a free kick. Yep. Was a push in the back, I think, and it's going to go to Duggan, is it? No. It will be the young man there in Burke. Will take it for the Canadians. He goes and looks forward for the lead, but it's going to go straight over the back, and the big man in Willem takes a good strong mark, still on half back for the US.
No, they've given a high contact here.
High contact's got to go back. It's going to go back to Nash, is it? Should have been. Oh, he held on for a long time. And, eventually he got it back there. Nash takes the free kick. He looks inside again, chips it out wide. Does he get there? No, bouncing ball. Ball in dispute. And eventually the umpire crosses the arms and says, give it to me.
So Tsigny there tried to take the mark sliding in, but couldn't quite get to the ball. A little bit of push and shove. Tsigny little bit unhappy with the treatment, but the fist forward there by Wilhelm. Getting back onto the ball there was Nash. Kick is gone out of bounds on the full there off the side of the boot from Alex Hurd. And it will be taken by the American side. Bring the ball back in.
Yes. Deep in that pocket again,
It is
Shane.
deep in that pocket. It's that deep that not even I can see it. But Clyde Simpson now goes backwards. Goes to Spawn, who had a very good first half for the Americans. Now slow and steady. That's not a great kick. Oh, couldn't take the mark there. Mickey Burke went straight through the hands. Now comes out to Livy.
Oh.
He's tackled. He's in trouble.
Took it on. Oh,
Umpire said no, give it to me, and we'll have a ball up half forward for Canada, and they need to get a goal on the board.
What you think, Brian?
Had a lucky penny on that one. I think he got away with it.
Well, again, Spawn got it out. Good work. Got it a good tap over the top to the run and carry. It was from May, but it's coming back. A big long kick up and under centre wing. Big pack forms, goes to ground level. Running in was Duggan. Core picked it up. That was Burke. He got tackled high. It's going to be a free kick, and it'll be Canadian from half forward, and they'll go deep into attack again.
So Burke now on the far side of the ground, over near the interchange bench, gives the handball off. So
Nash.
Going long was Nash. No one home for Canada, though. Mark taken comfortably by Spawn. He now comes wide to Johnson. Missed the target, though. Coming in hard was Duggan. He left the ball behind. Johnson picks it up. Strong tackle on him by Duggan. He goes to ground. We're going to have a ball up 40 metres out directly in front of goal for Canada.
That's the only thing that's going to kill the Americans is those listless passes in front of goal.
Ball thrown up, knocked out. Good knock there by the big man in Lee, Donald Lee. Put a teammate on the end of it, but it's coming back in. And it will be the captain, and Ortel, who'll take the kick about 55 metres out from his goal. Looks up, sums up the situation. Poor kick again, didn't hit the target. Willem didn't get down low enough. Picked up, nicely worked now. Got it out to Lee, tried to burst through the pack. No one could get it. Good work, though, by Benny Cunnington. He did very well. Couldn't get a teammate still on the end of it. Stacks on the mill. Umpire crosses the arms and says, give it to me and I'll ball it up at centre half forward for the Canadians.
Couple of minutes remaining in this term. Canada just looking to hold on here. They need to try and get another score on the board at the moment. It is America by 24 points. Ball comes out. It's going the way of the Americans. Comes out to Mcgettigan. Got a little handball out looking for Carpenter. Now taken, though, by Linfeld. So still forcing the ball forward. Little tap forward there by Simpson. Carpenter there as well. Now they cross the 50. Top of the square. Good kick. And that's found the man in David Restrepo. And Restrepo, he's already got 2 in this quarter.
He's been very good, Brian.
He's been very good, and he was a good job to clear out some space. He had enough room to serve coffee and maybe have a couple of guests there.
So Restrepo.
He's not going to go around the corner this time.
Nope, straight on here.
Comes in, kick on its way, looks pretty good. Has he snuck it in? He has. That's another one to Restrepo. He has his third. America, they go to 6-8-44, leading Canada 2-2-14.
Very good, Brian. He's been on fire in this quarter. He's kicked 3, and that's been the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, it has, and a lot of that as a half forward or as a full forward. I mean, it's all about getting that separation. It's all about knowing where to go. But a great job by Carpenter there to put the ball on a platter for him so that he could take the nice mark.
Big Donald Lee into the ruck too, and giving the big man in Wilhelm a bit of a rest. The ball goes up in the middle. Well, no one won it down, but they're quickly trying to push it out the US. They get it back, picking it up and getting tackled to the ground as the siren sounds, Shane, here for three-quarter time, and the US have taken control in this quarter.
They certainly have. There's a little bit of push and shove going on after the siren too. Bit of feeling here in this game.
Argy-badgy. I've been waiting all day to say that.
But it looks like it'll be broken up as quick as it started, and
Simpson,
still wanting to go on with it there is Adam Nash, so I'm not sure what's happened, but he's very unhappy with someone.
And the big man there in Dragas has got hold of Simpson, and he's just shepherding him away from the pack, Brian, just trying to quieten him down.
Just a little bit, but I think that's Canada's way of trying to get into the Revo's head a little bit, because it's going to come down to, again, they can't have a letdown in the fourth quarter. The first goal in that fourth quarter is going to be a big, big deal.
Well, three-quarter time here at McAllister Oval, and it is the American side breaking the game open. They lead by 30 points, 6-8-44 to 2-2-14. Stay tuned. All the final quarter action from this Round 1, Division 1 Men's AFL International Cup clash still ahead. $30 points the margin at three-quarter time in favour of the American Revolution, 6-8-44 to Canada, 2-2-14. Goal kickers in the first 3 quarters, David Restrepo with 3 goals. He's the only multiple goal kicker. Ben Carpenter, Brian Dragus and David Greziak with singles, while for the Canadian side, Adam Nash and Jim Ordle with singles. And, well, the Americans opening up a nice 30-point lead in that quarter, Brian, and now the challenge is for them to continue on with it.
Well, they grabbed the game by the neck, by the scruff of the neck, gave it a big, wet, sloppy kiss. Now the question is are they going to stick around? It's all going to come down to discipline. They have to see out and play 4 quarters of football, and that's going to be the difference. They have gotten a lot better in transition, as you can tell by the fact that they kicked more goals in that quarter.
I certainly have. Going against the wind, though, so Canada with the aid of probably a 2 or 3 goal breeze, Brian, and you'd think that that this is their chance to get back and use that wind.
Well, they need to use it, but they need to use it quickly and get a couple of quick ones on the board and give themselves an opportunity to get back into this game, because 30 points, we haven't seen too many sides today come from 30 points down. So it'll be interesting to see.
And just what reminder that the quarters are only 17 and a half minutes too. So
no time on.
No time on. So the clock keeps ticking throughout those the quarter. And we're just waiting now for the umpires to start the game. And all the players are ready in positions once again. And it is America. 30 points here at the final change. And I'm not quite sure what they're concerned about.
There's 2 people standing on the fence, but inside the fence, and the umpire wants them to move.
So you got to buy a jumper for that if you want to stand on the side.
Well, final quarter action brought to you now by Brian Mansbridge.
Ball thrown in the air. Whoa, Loosemore. He was up there, Loosemore. He was way up. Couldn't quite get the tap down to anyone. Ball tapped forward. US put it. Mcgettigan did really well. Put the big man in Willem onto the end of it. Gave the handball off. Running and kicking and putting it in lineman for the US. Out wide. Close to the boundary line. A little toe poke over. And it'll be thrown in deep into the forward pocket.
Mike Linehan, who's the teammate of Benny Carpenter in Austin.
He did well there, Linehan.
Very well.
He did just probably quite didn't get it up in the air enough.
So ball thrown back into play. Little tap down there in front by Trent Loosemore. Found a teammate. Now comes out to Ortal. Can't quite keep it in. And the boundary line wins out. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So just here at half forward for the American side. And a little bit of a break in play. So ball now to be thrown back in. Ruckman to do battle. Donald Lee for the American side, but taking it out. Spawn wasn't their nominated Ruckman. He can't do that.
No.
And it's going to be a free kick to the Canadian side.
It will be, and it'll go to the captain. It should be the Ruckman, it is. No, he can't take it. So it'll have to go back. It'll be the big man in Loosemore who will take the free kick because he's the opposing Ruckman.
I think the team's still getting adjusted to the 3rd man up rule, and I think you can say that for the AFL too.
Yes.
Do you play that as a rule in the US?
No, we haven't adopted the rule this year, although these guys have been practicing with it.
Yep.
They were doing it the other day at Windy Hill.
Ball off the back. Loosemore gives it to a teammate. They go down the wing, but it's just over the top, and a good strong mark there across half of the wing for the US. They chip it forward. Oh, running hard. Good work by Ortal. Just up and over the top. Put it in front of the teammate there in Lund. He couldn't take it. Tapped it forward. It's coming back. It's going to be a free kick, though. And Adam Nash is, might have gave the infringement away to Ty G. Who's getting the free kick, Shane?
It's going to Ty G, I think, against Nash. I think Nash still a little bit worked up after that fracas at 3/4 time by the look of it.
Just going a little bit too much and taking it a little bit too far, Shane.
Yeah, he's shaking like he had way too much Red Bull.
So Ty G now comes down the line. Oh, good work getting to the front position. There was Aspel. Couldn't take the mark, though. Now America with the quick kick forward there by Gartright. But it's marked by Ortal. Straight in the middle of the ground. Good vision, but they've got the numbers with America. They need to hold on to it here. Do the Canadian side. Going to ground, holding the ball too, said the umpire, making no attempt to get rid of it. And it will be a free kick to the American Revolution. The player there just a little bit slow getting to his feet.
Free kick, it's going to be reversed. Something happened behind play. I didn't actually see what it did, but the umpire that was down in the back half came quickly forward and said, no, it's turn it around. Ball goes back to the big man there in Lee. Donald Lee couldn't get it out. Now tackling from behind. Plenty of Canadians in and around there, but not being able to get it out or force it out. Side, they were able to, the umpire said, give it me and I'll ball it back up. Donald Lee up against Loosemore. No one actually got the tap, but the US work it forward, but in front. Just unlucky as he came running forward, and off their Aspel came off the boot and kicked it over the line out of bounds on the full.
So Mcgettigan's quick kick is marked by Ortel. This is promising for Canada. They've got the numbers forward now. Can't quite take the mark. There was Nash. Off hands, all heavy tackle. Didn't have the ball, and it should be an American free kick. It is. And it'll be going the way of David Franco.
He thought he was David Villa over here on the side with the volley.
Franco goes long, puts it up in the air, big pack forms, comes to ground level. Tackle, though, was put on, and dropping the ball. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go against Mcgettigan, and it'll go to the man there in Aspel, is it?
He's a little bit unlucky, Mcgettigan. He did get his hand to the ball then.
Yeah, he did. The umpire didn't see it. Blindsided, ball went deep inside, got it back towards the last line of defence, and running it over there was Tajib. And there'll be a throw in. That's going to be deliberate, is it? Has he paid it deliberate?
Oh,
He
really?
has. He has.
Wow.
Well, I didn't know they were playing that rule here, but Adam Nash now from the boundary line, 15, maybe 20 metres out, he's going to look for the Stevie Johnson from the deep in the pocket.
Well, if it was David Restrepo, you'd mark it down, but he's not David Restrepo.
He's not David Restrepo.
Who is?
Yeah, no one is. As Adam Nash from in the pocket. He gets closer now. He drew a big Stevie J around the corner. Got too much on it, pushed it across the face, and threw for a minor score. That'll take the Canadians to 2-3-15. They still trail the US 6-8-44. Well, with 12 minutes to go in this final quarter.
So ball brought back into play. Wasn't a great kick, but Gartright was there. Loses the ball now. In hard is the Canadian side, holding it up. Inside attacking 50, about 35 directly in front of goal. So needing to start getting the score on the board to the Canadian side. Tap behind, taken by the Americans. A high ball, sitting underneath it is Cartwright. Can't take them, Carpenter, sorry.
Late.
And it's going to be a free kick going the way of, that's Jacob Martin.
From centre wing, goes towards centre half forward. It's 1-on-4. The US had everyone there, and eventually it was forced to the ground and held up, and the umpire said, give it to me as I'll ball it up. Still, they look to go through the corridor, the Canadians. They've done well. Ball at ground level again. A little one there by Levesque. He couldn't get it over the back, or coming in was the man there in Bassington, who takes it for Canada. Goes out wide, got it over the back, but it's going to be turned over again. Through the middle they come, running and carrying. They're working the ball well, US. They go long and deep inside. The big man was up in front, got a high tackle, and he's going to get a free kick, and it's going to go to Carpenter, who was infringed in the marking contest, and he'll go back and have a shot from 50 out.
And basketball, they say he got hacked in the act, right across the shoulders there, and you can't do that.
Well, the captain, well, not the captain, but
Vice captain.
And Benny Carpenter comes in. He's going to it'll have to have everything on it from here. I'm backing he might have the distance, Brian.
I think so.
Yeah, well, you are too. And this could be the final nail in the coffin. Didn't quite get the good contact. Front of the square. Ortel floated across, tried to take the mark, forced it out, and then the Canada kick it out to their defensive halfback.
So they ball at halfback for Canada, but America taking possession. Little toe poke forward was good. Coming to take the mark there was Levesque. Umpire said not 15, play on. Ball still on the deck. Levesque went to ground. He was dragged to ground. No free kick, said the umpire. I don't think he's seen it, and we're going to have a ball up, half forward for America. Into attack. Ball in the air. Little tap forward. Umpire's paying a free kick. It's shepherding in the contest, and it's going to go the way of Canada, and it'll be Trent Loosemore with the free kick.
Loosemore takes it, goes out wide, finds Nash. He goes even wider and finds a teammate right over in the shadows. He kicks it up the line. Oh, can't take the mark. Turnover. Nash comes through, tries to paddle it through. Taking and getting one high. He'll get the free kick on halfback for the Canadian side. Now, they need to give it back to him quickly. Nash goes out wide. Finds a teammate there in Ortel and kicks it down the line. Gets cleaned up. And it will be a free kick downfield. And Canada start to build. Can they get a goal out of this? They need to get something and get something quickly. They need to push it and to get to the top of the square. They wait. A big long kick. No one really leading. Numbers with the US. Oh, pushed out. Can it be a free kick? No. Nope. Umpire says that's a mark. Oof. And the big man now will go back and have a shot inclined, and he'll be directly in front, 35 metres out. Well, if that wasn't a push, I'll go he for Tiggy.
Wait, what does that mean?
I'm in. I'll chase him around and try and touch it.
Thank you.
Comes in. Klein. From directly in front, made the goal umpire work. Probably got what it deserved through for a minor score. Canada go to 2-4-16, trailing the US 6-8-44. 8 minutes to go in this final quarter of International Cup rules.
So the ball now to be brought back into play. Long kick out by the American side. Comes out towards Greziak. Couldn't take the mark off hands. Little handball forward by Spawn was good. Now Greziak's got it.
Good run down.
Run down from behind by Bassington. And Brassington with the free kick. So now they need to do something from this, Canada. Time is ticking. And if they're any chance of getting back into this game, they need a goal. Brassington goes deep. Oh, big fly from behind. Couldn't take the mark. Off hands, ball on the deck still. Diving on it there was the captain in Johnson, but the umpire calls for a bounce, and we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from goal.
Well, they've got to get it inside. White up against the big man, but knocking it down and then making the tackle, the ruckman for the US. That's very well done. And ball in dispute. And the umpire says, give it to me. And Simpson gets up at the ground. He was chaperoned off the ground at three-quarter time by his teammate, trying to not get him into trouble. Ball, well, a bit of volleyball happening there, but eventually the umpire says it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to the Canadians.
Klein for holding on. He was held in the contest without
Klein
the ball.
Goes back. Haven't seen much of this man.
Actually,
he's just been on
Hobbs.
the last... Hobbs is this time. And we haven't seen much of him either, but probably right on his distance. Has to get everything on it. Comes in. Does get a lot on it. Does get it pretty straight. Flying a long way. Oh, touched right on the line. And Canada get another behind. They go to 2-5-17, trailing the US 6-8-44, 6.5 to go in this final quarter.
So ball brought back into play now. Long kick. Couldn't take the mark. Taking it off the pack there was Gartright. Umpires found a free kick coming back to Canada.
Don't argue.
And it will be a...
Dusty Martin it was.
It was. And it's going to Eric Klein. So Klein now. Again, probably right on the limit, you would think. Kicking from right on 50. Gets good purchase, but it's not going to quite carry the distance. Over the back, and happy to see it through for another behind is the Americans. So the Canadian side, they go to 2-6-18. Ball quickly brought back into play.
Ball bringing it in. Oh, running. Cannington was there. No, it was Simpson. Ball down to the wing. Numbers, though, with the Canadians. Kick around the quarter by Jacob Martin. Up and under. Stand under that and mark it. No one did. Ball went to ground level. Probably dropping what he should have taken there was Lindfeld. But now, out of dispute, Bassington got it out. Well, working there for Levesque. Cool, well done. Putting it there from the young man in Dupina. He got it over to a teammate. They go back. Spawn banged it on the boot. Put it into the dangerous part. Oh! He was up and over. He didn't take the mark. Hit the ground front and square. Banged it on the boot there from, who was that? There was Freeman. And it bounced across the face and over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
My goodness, he climbed the ladder and fell off of it, didn't it? He looked like a trapeze artist falling off a trapeze.
He was up and at him there and just couldn't take the mark. It would have been the mark of the competition as well, Shane.
Undoubtedly. 12 and a half minutes gone, and Dupina takes the ball, runs around one, breaks the tackle, long shot at goal. He's offline. So the first score for the term for the American side, they go to 6-9-45. comfortable leaders at the moment, 2-6-18 over the Canadians.
Time becomes a big enemy of the Canadians at the moment. They are in trouble. They need another off the ground, another one back towards the goal, but it's going to be a free kick. It's coming back. It's going to go to Canada at centre half back. Now they need to build something. They've probably got to go straight down the middle of the ground. They've got to get it over the back. But they go out wide, up and under. Big kick. Oh, coming in, Nash. He's been quite prominent for quite some time. Adam Nash kicks it now. Looks to go long. Has to hit a target, does. Or Tal takes it right at half back. The switch is on, Shane, maybe.
Well, looking to move the ball. Cold to play on now. Decides to go down the line or out even wider to the boundary. Out to Nash. Little chip inside. Looking for Duggan. Missed the target. Now the Americans.
That was
a bit of volleyball.
Yes.
Gives it off. Now they come through the middle. Oh, good tackle run down from behind. Umpire says play on. So still they go in hard, both teams. Good tackle there on Ortel. Got the handball away though. Now the Americans through Freeman. Comes wide, leads on. Is the ball going to stay in play? It does. In fact, he gets a bad bounce. Loose ball there for Canada. Takes possession, gives the handball. Didn't really get fist the ball, but the umpire said play on. The player's still crashing in. No one able to take clean possession at the moment. Now eventually it comes out. Mcgettigan gets boot to ball, but there's no one home for America, and it's taken by the Canadians.
They go and run and kick. That kick coming from Brancati. He gets it out wide. Now they're able to run. They work it off half-back. Hobbs kicks it inside forward 50. Gets over the back. Who's standing and waiting? Graham runs it along the ground and went across the face and through from behind. Just the opportunities. They just need to take them, the Canadians. They go to 2-7-19. They still trail the US 6-9-45. Only 2.5 to go in this quarter.
Man, both teams rolling the dice, but it's all coming up snake eyes for both teams.
So the ball brought back into play. Canada, they've had 5 shots at goal, or 5 scoring shots this quarter. All behind, so Mark taken there from the kick in by Klein. Runs around, runs to 40. Shot at goal is well and truly offline. It's out of bounds on the full, and it will be brought back into play for America. And you would think that they have done more than enough at the moment with just 2 minutes to go on the clock.
Yeah, you would think so. They're well and truly in control of this game. That one didn't even come up snake eyes. It was that bad. Floated outside.
It fell off the table.
It fell off the table. No, nothing comes up from there. From right in deep in the last line of defence. This is close to the line. Big man there in cutting. Carpenter got his little fingertip to it and forced it over the line for a throw-in. Luckily there, as they now set themselves again. Ball thrown back in. White back into the ruck. Got it over the top. Oh, Spoon, he's been very good. Oh, I got pinged. Got knocked out in the tackle. He's a bit unlucky, and the free kick will end up with Lang. Yes, Lang will take it.
Yeah, so Liang now for the Canadian side. Too far out to score, so just goes in or shallow kick. He kicked it like a bullet, though. Goes in hard. There was
free kick.
that was DePina, and the umpire has found a free kick. It's going to Canada. Yeah, Nash with the throw. I didn't see what it was for, Brian, did you?
No, Brian?
No, it was might have been a push-off in front.
So Adam Nash, now, he's looking for his second of the afternoon. Comes in. Kick looks pretty straight. It's through for a goal. So Canada get their third of the game. They go to 3-7-25. They trail America by 20 points, 6-9-45 late in the last term.
Yeah, good work by the Canadians. It's going to end up being a consolation goal there, but it's something they can take into the next game, you would think.
They certainly have put some pressure on you in the early half of this game, and probably for 3 quarters. But that third quarter, late in it, the US really started to use the ball a lot better.
It was like a punch in the gut, and I think that that altercation at the end of the fourth quarter was made to change the momentum. It really didn't.
Well, it probably nearly be the last score. 12 seconds to go in this last final quarter. Lymore did well, got it over the back. Plenty of players in there. Simpson dives in over the top and stacks on the mill. Umpire says that'll be enough. And there's the siren, Shane. Here for the final score. Well, there's a little bit happening, as they do. They like to do it just after the final siren's gone. They get a little bit excited as the scores we see. US 6-9-45 defeating Canada 37-25.
No, a very comfortable win in the end for the American side. A great start to their tournament, Brian, and that'll mean a lot back home to the Americans.
Yeah, a lot of people watching back home, but I'll tell you what, this was a hard-fought victory. I said at the start that this is probably the best team that Canada has ever had playing for the Northwind, and you know, they're going to be a force for the rest of the tournament. But that's a big win out of the way. You basically need to win 4 to get to the MCG. U.S. has taken care of the first part of that book.
They certainly have. The goal kickers for the game too. David Restrepo with 3 for the Americans. Daniel Livy, Brian Dragas and David Greziak with singles, while the only goal scorers for the Canadian side was Adam Nash with 2 and Justin Jim Ortel, the captain, with a single as well. Well, that just about wraps us up here for the Game 3 here on McAllister Oval here this afternoon. Brian, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, Shane.
Thanks, Shane.
During the call.
Enjoyed your company, Brian.
Likewise, gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
And hope you enjoy your stay here in Australia, Brian, and get around to see a bit more football as well.
Fair dinkum. Did I do that right? Okay.
Yeah, that's fair dinkum. Unbelievable.
So just repeating the final score here in the Game 3, 6-9-45, the American Revolution defeating the Canada Northwind 3-7-25. Stay tuned. We've still got one more game to come with France versus Fiji.